Introduction. Welcome to the 10-Minute Book Club. Today, we're delving into Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, a psychological thriller that has captivated readers worldwide since its release. If you're looking for a story full of twists, unreliable narratives, and dark, unsettling themes, this is the book for you. Gone Girl is a sharp exploration of marriage, manipulation, and media influence. It's a story that keeps you guessing from start to finish. So, buckle up and let's take a deep dive into Gone Girl. Section 1. The setup. The novel begins with the disappearance of Amy Dunne on her 5th wedding anniversary. Amy, an intelligent, beautiful, and seemingly perfect woman, vanishes from her home in Missouri, leaving behind signs of a struggle. Her husband, Nick, becomes the prime suspect. As the story unfolds, we learn that Nick and Amy's marriage has been far from perfect. Nick, a mild-mannered, self-absorbed man, is struggling with his own issues, including the recent death of his mother and financial troubles. Amy, on the other hand, seems like a woman with everything going for her. She's a former New York writer who had to leave her job to move to Nick's hometown after his career struggles. From the start, it's clear that things are not as they seem. The perfect couple's image begins to crack, and we're left wondering, did Nick have anything to do with Amy's disappearance? Section 2. The narrative structure. Gone Girl is told through alternating perspectives, Nick's present-day narrative and Amy's diary entries from the past. Nick's chapters are written in the present tense, where he describes his reactions to Amy's disappearance and the growing media frenzy surrounding it. As Nick grapples with the investigation, we see him as a man under pressure, often coming across as evasive, guilty, or simply clueless. Amy's chapters, on the other hand, offer a more intimate look at her thoughts and feelings leading up to the day of her disappearance. In her diary entries, Amy reflects on the early days of her relationship with Nick, her love for him, and the mounting frustration she feels as their marriage falls apart. But as we read both perspectives, we begin to notice discrepancies between what Nick says and what Amy writes. This creates a sense of unease, as we begin to question the reliability of both narrators. Section 3. Nick's secrets and the media frenzy. As the investigation into Amy's disappearance intensifies, the media descends on the case, painting Nick as a prime suspect. His behavior seems odd. He's calm, unemotional, and often appears more concerned about his own well-being than finding his wife. This only adds to the public suspicion. In addition, Nick's extramarital affair with a young woman named Andy complicates things further. He had been cheating on Amy with Andy for months, and the affair becomes public knowledge, fueling the media's portrayal of Nick as a lying, manipulative man who is guilty of his wife's murder. Nick's life starts to spiral as his relationship with his family and friends deteriorates and the pressure mounts. He knows the truth about what happened, but he's unable to convince anyone of his innocence. The media and public opinion are already set on his guilt. Section 4. The twist. Amy's deception. Halfway through the book, we get a shocking twist. Amy isn't dead, she's been orchestrating her own disappearance the whole time. Through her diary entries, we learn that she meticulously planned every detail of her kidnapping, including staging the crime scene and planting false evidence to frame Nick for her murder. Amy's motivation stems from her growing disenchantment with her marriage. She feels that Nick has changed, becoming cold and distant. She also believes he is guilty of cheating on her, and that he's no longer the man she married. Amy, always the manipulative genius, uses her diary to control the narrative and present herself as a victim. She knows that if she disappears and makes it look like Nick killed her, the police will launch an investigation that will shine a spotlight on Nick's failings and guilt. The twist reveals that Amy is an expert at manipulation. What she describes in her diary is a carefully crafted version of events, designed to elicit sympathy and blame Nick. Amy's character is revealed to be far more calculating, intelligent, and dangerous than we originally thought. Section 5. The psychological games. Amy's disappearance sets off a psychological battle between her and Nick. While Amy hides away in a secluded cabin, watching the investigation unfold, Nick is left to deal with the fallout. He becomes increasingly aware of just how far Amy is willing to go to destroy him. Throughout the investigation, Nick starts to suspect that his wife is still alive, but he has no idea where she is or how she's planning to manipulate the situation further. Meanwhile, Amy, who has been pretending to be dead, is hiding in plain sight, carefully observing the effect her death has on Nick and everyone around him. In one of the novel's most intense moments, Amy fakes being a victim of her own abduction. When she reappears and is rescued, she plays the role of a traumatized woman who narrowly escaped death, all while framing Nick even further. The more Amy manipulates the story, the more Nick's life unravels. Section 6. The final twist and the ending. As the story reaches its climax, we learn that Amy's plan isn't over yet. Even though she's back, she has one more trick up her sleeve. When Nick finally begins to gain public sympathy and starts to rebuild his life, Amy reveals her true plan: to get pregnant. Her motivation for this: Amy wants to trap Nick in their marriage forever. If she has his child, there's no escape for him. He'll be forced to stay with her no matter what. Nick, knowing that he can never truly escape Amy's control, reluctantly agrees to stay in the marriage for the sake of the child, all while acknowledging that Amy's influence over him will never end. The novel ends on an unsettling note. Despite all the manipulation, betrayal, and lies, Amy and Nick settle into a perverse, toxic equilibrium. They stay together for the sake of their unborn child, stuck in a marriage that's built on lies, power, and psychological manipulation. Conclusion: Gone Go is a chilling exploration of marriage, manipulation, and the extremes people are willing to go to maintain control. Gillian Flynn masterfully weaves a story full of psychological tension, complex characters, and shocking twists. The novel forces us to question the nature of truth and deception in relationships, as well as the role of media in shaping public opinion. It's a story of two people who are bound together by a destructive, manipulative love that keeps them trapped in a web of lies. The unsettling ending leaves us with no clear heroes, only two deeply flawed individuals locked in a dangerous, toxic dance. Thank you for joining the 10-Minute Book Club. If you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts on Gone Go. What did you think of the twists? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.